ESPN2's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By the people of Nike who encourage you to just do it. By Gojo Hand Cleaner. Gojo takes care of your two most important tools, your hands. And by Purolator. Legends live on Purolator. The teams making their way back to the ice for tonight's second period. Toronto with a 1-0 lead after one. They controlled the play throughout the first period. Outshot the San Jose Sharks by a margin of 13-3. They had the better of the scoring chances as well. Narrow margin on faceoffs. And uncharacteristic of San Jose, the least penalized team in the league during the regular season. They gave Toronto 3 chances on the power play in the first period alone. And Toronto converted a 4-on-3 for the only goal of the game by Dmitry Mironov at 8:06. From Ellett and Gilmore. Brian, you look for any changes as we head toward the second period in terms of strategy?
Well, I think Kevin Constantine will have been talking to his players about taking penalties. He can see what Toronto wants to do, and it's no secret. Toronto wants to rough them up, and they want San Jose to retaliate. Most of the time, San Jose's penalties were for tripping and hooking and that sort of thing, but I think he just simply reminded them, don't take it. They've been punched in the head 4, 5, 6 times in that first period alone, and Toronto's not going to let up in that department. I think he just instilled in them, hey, we're okay. We're only down 1-0. Archer's played really well. We spent a lot of time on our own zone. Let's not try to spend so much time inside our own blue line. If they can be more efficient passing the puck coming out of their own end, it will certainly lead to better offensive chances at the other end of the ice.
San Jose, the least penalized team in the regular season and in the playoffs as well. They have averaged only 12 minutes a game in penalties against them. They had 6 minutes in the first period tonight.
Well, Kevin Constantine really sold them a program at the beginning of this year, and obviously as players have bought it. Last year, San Jose was the 5th most penalized team. This year, the least penalized team. You have to believe in what your coach is saying, and you have to believe in his system. This guy is a smart man, and he's obviously done a great job with these players. They trust in him. He's worked with them, the Larionovs and Makarovs, who don't want to exactly play his system. He said, okay, I'll move a little if you move a little, and it's worked for everybody.
Fascinating how life has its twists and turns. 10 years ago, Kevin Constantine was taking lift tickets at a ski area in Lake Tahoe, and Pat Burns was a police officer in Montreal. Now here they are coaching teams in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs a decade later. Jason Moore opens the period in defense with Sean Cronin. Jeff Odgers sweeps it in. Odgers, Harry, and Baker the line out for San Jose to begin the period. It's Clark and Eastwood up front for Toronto along with Gardner. Odgers centers one. Hit the stick of Baker and dribbled across the crease. God wanted the penalty as Gardner was upended. There is no call. Now Wendell Clark trying to cut in. Clark circled the net. He got spilled and turned to look at Koharski, hoping to see a penalty called. He didn't see it. Jason Moore, the drive at the short side, blocked by Potvin, and the net came loose. As the rebound action, Odgers was knocked into Potvin. Odgers got up wanting a piece of Bob Rouse, and Eastwood intervened.
Well, Wendell Clark was turning on the Jets going down the wing, and what he wanted to accomplish was an old Bobby Orr move. Urbe will come out and cut down the angle. What he wanted to do was tuck it in and go behind the net and go for the quick wraparound. He can see where Urbe is, but his feet go out from underneath him. I think he got some help there from Sean Cronin, but you could tell by the way the body position was from Wendell Clark. You'll see him coming around. He's got his head up. He knows Urbe's coming out. He's got him out there on the edge of the net. He had no intention of going to the net, but he wanted to go for the quick wraparound, and you can do it better on your backhand. He would have had enough leverage to do it, but his feet were pulled out from underneath him.
Wendell off to a solid start in the playoffs after his best offensive regular season in his 10-year NHL career. He had 46 goals during the regular season for the Leafs. Wendell Clark is the first cousin of Kings coach Barry Melrose. Working with our colleague John Saunders in the studio on the ESPN coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
And Gilmore is certainly very popular here in Toronto, but Wendell Clark, some of the guys call him the mayor. He is incredibly popular here in Toronto.
We've played just more than a minute in the second period. Toronto has a 1-0 lead. San Jose leads the series 1-0. And the next 3 games in this series will be played at the San Jose Arena. Trouble in the neutral zone for the Sharks. Finally, they worked it in. Ozolinsh missed Garpenlov with the pass, and Zezel banks it out too far in third. Ozolinsh back to play it to Makarov. His pass was deflected, taken in by Osborne. Makarov collided with Berg, and the puck wound up in the corner. Ozolinsh back to Larionov. Now Garpenlov. Johan Garpenlov had the game-winning goal in game 1 of this series. Has some room as McCowan fell down. Larionov thought that Cooper was going to come up to play it. They got their signals crossed. And Osborne wound up with the puck. Now Gilmore. Duchesne bounces it out to Makarov. 2 minutes played. Second period. 1-0 Maple Leafs. Steal by Borshevsky. And he could work it into the circle. Andreychuk sends it high in the air. Chasing to the scoreboard. High enough to hit the scoreboard. Krupa to Dahlin. He played it out to center ice. 15,000 in attendance here tonight. A sellout at Maple Leaf Gardens, and they've been very quiet. Now trying to spur on the Leafs with the chant of goal Leafs go. Dahlin back to the line. Elliott sent it right back up. Both teams cautious here in the first 3 minutes of the second period.
Pretty much of a chess match being played by the players out there. You move left, I move right. Everybody is accounted for. No extra room out there in any area of the ice.
Baumgartner stand on a centering attempt. Dahlin dumped it in, and the Sharks change up. 1-0 Toronto. Todd Gill, who has the longest tour of duty in terms of continuous service with the Leafs. He joined them in the 1984-85 season. Cronin couldn't move the puck out. Moore comes to help Cronin. Jason Moore shoots it around, kept in by Gill. Gill with some skating room into the circle. His shot blocked by Cronin. Free puck on the far boards. Poked out of the zone by Jamie Baker. And it's played back to Dave Ellett. Ellett separated a shoulder late in the regular season. Missed the final 7 games of the regular season, but came back in time for the Chicago playoff series. Krushelnyski in the forecheck. He flattened Moore from behind. Krushelnyski emerges with the puck. Tried to dump it off for Pearson. Pearson for Baumgartner. Clanged off his stick. And it's cleared by Whitney.
This is how San Jose is usually able to subdue the other team. This is just incredible coverage. Toronto's doing a great job as well. Every time there's a turnover, there's a San Jose player right in that guy's face and vice versa. So they're just turnover after turnover after turnover.
That's what you would expect. That's where these teams played all season long. Going for their tight checking. Osborne trying to move it into the corner. Did so to Berg. Now Zezel trying to spin away from Larionov. 15:35 left second period. 1-0 Toronto. They scored at the end of the first period. Jeff Gordon has lost his helmet. He played the puck off to Sergei Makarov. Working on the fade one-on-one. The fade stood up. Norton centers. Loaded behind Garpenlov, who is played by Zezel. Now Bill Berg, a very popular player here in Toronto. And the play is offside. We'll have more from Maple Leaf Gardens in a moment.
This is the showroom where we sell the most Ford trucks. It's called the real world, and the only salesman is the truck itself. In fact, our trucks have sold so many people on Ford, we have more repeat buyers than any other truck, which isn't surprising. Because at Ford, we've always figured that if you make a habit of building better trucks, people will make a habit of driving them. Ford F-Series. For 17 straight years, the best-selling trucks are built Ford tough.
Hey, so we would have had shoes like this. Do you think we'd still be playing now?
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Come here for a minute, big guy. Tell me about your shoe, man. This the one you don't wear this?
My name on the shoe. They don't put my name on this shit, man. They got Michael Jordan. They won't put Dennis Rodman on that, see?
They don't put Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman on that, see? Eric Darwin. You should at least paint the bottom blonde or something.
We talked about Doug Gilmore being injured. Take a look at him along the boards here. This is his original injury against Chicago. He's going to be taken into the wall, and his leg will buckle underneath him. Boom, right there. Right around his leg. It'll buckle right underneath him, and that's where the injury occurred. Ouch. That's all twisted up underneath him. That really hurt, and he's had trouble ever since.
He's reduced his ice time tonight. He's played more than 10 minutes out of a possible 25. 5 minutes gone by, second period. 1-0 Toronto. This will be an icing call against the Sharks.
Doug Gilmour is the heart and soul of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and with that injury, he's still in the lineup. He's got it heavily taped. He gets it frozen for the game, so obviously you're not able to feel what's going on down there, and that's a big part of his game. Your feet, he said in the papers today, your feet are my most important asset, and he has to be able to move out there. He's very quick, he's very shifty, he has to be able to turn on a dime, and he's simply not able to with that bad ankle.
Pat Burns, 41-year-old coach of the Leafs. Rumors about 2 weeks ago here in Toronto that he might be leaving to head up the Ottawa Senators organization. He has not been talking about that. Mike Gardner lost the puck as he tried to move it through the neutral zone. Was shot back in by Odgers. And it's Bob Rouse behind the Toronto net. There he in the forecheck. Pass deflects off the stick of Elliott to Mike Eastwood. He worked it into the zone. Gardner was upended as he went into forecheck. Mike lost the puck to Elliott. To the boards, Odger one-timed it off, but onto the stick of Eastwood. Peterson taken down, and no call there. On Koharski letting the fellows play here in the second period. Clark, and the play offside. We'll check in with Bill Pito. Bill?
All right, Sean, game 2. Vancouver at Dallas. Kelly Eklund loses the puck. Cliff Ronnie's going to get it. Watch the move on Doug Smolik. Smolik faked out of his shorts. A shot and a goal for Ronning. 1-0 Vancouver in the first. John, back to you.
Smolik, one of the players acquired by Dallas from San Jose in the trade that brought Ulf Dahlen to the Sharks. And Andy Moog starting in net tonight for Dallas, his first appearance in the playoffs.
Well, things continue to be pretty rough. There's Krupa taking a run at Wendell Clark. Good move by Krupa because he forced an offside there, but Wendell Clark, after the whistle, had a few words for him. Krupa took a shot of his own here from Eastwood, and Eastwood rips the helmet off of Krupa. That's why Krupa was incensed.
Walking right in, Borshevsky was stopped by Urbe. I guess you'd call those noogies that Eastwood was delivering.
Yeah.
Potvin spins it around the board, but onto the stick of Jamie Pick. He was checked off the puck by Andrechuk and scooped up by Elliott. Elliott played college hockey at Bowling Green. Their national championship team in 1984 for Coach Gary York. Gilmour banked it off the back of the net. Andrechuk in the corner. Knocked down by Cronin. Baker battling for the puck. And Jamie Baker wound up with it. He played his college hockey at St. Lawrence University for Joe Mark. And that's icing as Elliott was there first. Still 1-0 Toronto with 13:23 remaining in the second period.
There's Nikolai Borshevsky, and he's had a real tough season. It started November 3rd here in Maple Leaf Garden against Florida. He was in a big collision, and he injured himself very badly from a tremendous amount of pain. He was looked at by the doctors, and he was complaining about his back area. What happened was they virtually ended up saving his life. The guy ended up having a ruptured spleen. And if there had not been a specialist here at Maple Leaf Garden that night who insisted that he should be taken to the doctor and not go on to Detroit for the next game, they said he may have died. They finally took him to the hospital. Several liters of blood had already leaked into his abdomen, and they removed his spleen 2 hours later.
Well, missing 22 games, and then missed 14 more later in the season with a separated shoulder. He's the key man for the Leafs. Scored 34 goals last year as a rookie when he was healthy. Jeff Norton. Out to Sandis Ozolinsh. Ozolinsh has it back and tried to center it through a sea of teal. Ozolinsh and Urbe are both Latvians, the only Latvians in the NHL.
That was not a real safe play by Sandis Ozolinsh. He's a defenseman jumping up on the plate to go wide and then throw it back blind into a crowd of players in the slide area. That can be a dangerous turnover for Toronto. He's trapped deep in Toronto's zone.
Penalty here as Ezo was tripped, and Larionov is going off for San Jose. Toronto on the power play after this.
It's in your hands. It's in your hands. Oh, anything worth doing, it's in your hands. And Gojo takes care of your hands.
Gojo Hand Cleaners take care of your two most important tools, your hands
Gojo takes care of your hands.
I finally made it to the big leagues. And my first game, we get the call. And I'm thinking, how lucky can a guy get?
Beechwood aged for that fresh, distinctive taste. Crisp, clean, classic.
First penalty of the second period taken by Igor Larionov. He's off for tripping at 7:18.
Larionov's is just going to reach out here and take a chop on Peter Zezel. He tripped him up, and it's enough of a swing with the stick. Whenever you're reaching in any situation, in any area of the ice, it's going to get the attention of the referee, and Larionov got nailed there.
The only goal in this hockey game on the power play for Toronto was a 4-on-3 advantage for them in the first period. Mironov scored. This is Borshevsky. Lost the puck to Krupa, batted back to the line by Andreychuk, and a hand pass whistled by Don Koharski.
Well, I think San Jose so far in this second period has succeeded in establishing their game plan now. Calm things down. Toronto is more calmed down than they were in the first period. That sequence of play that we saw through the first 6 or 8 minutes of this second period were just a chess match. I'll check you, you check me, turnover, 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 all in the neutral zone. That was just fine as far as San Jose was concerned.
Duchesne and Gilmore on the face-off. Only one shot in this period between the two teams in more than 7.5 minutes. One shot on net by San Jose. Now they're trying to generate some of the power play. Mironov fed Borshevsky. He lost the puck. Krupa able to one-hand it out. Baker races after with Mironov, and Elliott came to the aid of Mironov. 1.5 left in the Toronto power play. Elliott, good move. And he centered one. And Baker got a stick on it for the Sharks. Andreychuk pressured by Duchesne. Nice pass, Borshevsky. Save made by Irbe. He flashed out the left pad. 1:10 left in the Toronto power play. And some of that time will tick off as Peterson banked it down and both sides change up. Mironov played for the unified team in the '92 Olympics of Albertville. Shot on net by Gardner, and it's gloved by Irbe.
Arturs Irbe with tremendous reflexes, and we'll get a look at those quick reflexes in that last sequence of plays. He's a small guy, small in stature, but he stays back at his net, but he has lightning quick legs and hands. You'll see him shoot out this left leg. Watch how quickly he's tracking the puck, moving along. Watch that left leg will just come out and kick the puck away. He's got a track. There he goes. He almost started to move for a second. But you can see he's concentrating on the puck, obviously, and he knew Gilmore was off to his right, and he wanted to move and anticipate the play. Sometimes a goaltender can move too quick in anticipation, and you'll beat him on the short side. But Irbe, with that quick left leg, kept it out.
Played in 74 games. Breaking Bernie Parent's record for minutes played. That record had stood for 20 years. Off the face-off, controlled by Toronto. Still 45 seconds left on the power play for the Maple Leafs. They lead 1-0, approaching the midpoint of the hockey game. Clark got a signals cross with Gill, and the puck went to center ice. Gill drives it back in. 30 seconds left of the man advantage for the Maple Leafs. Maybe not that much time left for my microphone. Gill passes off to McCown. Now Gill fanned on it, but it wound up with Clark. He put it on net. Rebound, and a great save by Irbe as Eastwood was clanging away at the far post. Eastwood in the corner. Bumped by Jason Moore. Now Clark down to 8 seconds left in the power play. Gill a one-timer. Blocked by Airy. Airy tried to throw it out of the zone. Gill kept it in. Now Clark pressured by Duchesne. Out of the box comes Larionov. And the Sharks are back at full strength. Toronto now 1 for 4 in the power play. 10.5 minutes left second period. 1-0. Toronto make it 2. Mike Gardner, while falling to his knees, knocked in the rebound, and the Leafs lead 2-0.
Persistent play by the Toronto Maple Leafs on this power play, moving the puck around, shooting it to the net, getting rebound chances, finally paid off. San Jose was getting tired. Mike Gardner in the slot area will get a chance on a rebound, and he only needs, look how closely he's being covered. 2 Sharks on him. He's falling down, and he shovels it up in the top corner. Clark will throw it out in front. A rebound will come off it'll come from the point here, Gill. And watch number 11, as he's falling, boom, top shelf. Great effort by Mike Gardner.
His second goal of the playoffs, first in this series. 32nd career playoff goal from Dylan Clark. And Toronto leads 2-0. And the puck goes into the crowd. Will return to Toronto right after this.
The Bowflex Power Pro outperforms the competition, and we can show you how. Call this toll-free number now, and we'll send you our head-to-head comparison video absolutely free. You'll see why the Bowflex cable pulley system can give you better results. You'll see how your workout with Bowflex can be faster. You'll also see that Bowflex is more versatile, it comes with a lifetime warranty, and is simply a better value for you. Sound interesting? Call now and you'll also receive this fact-filled brochure that details the quality, performance, and convenience that only Bowflex can deliver. Go ahead, call and make your own comparison. The time and money you save will be worth it.
Choices, choices, choices tomorrow night for hockey fans here on the Deuce at 7:30. Game 3 between the Devils and the Bruins. Boston leads 2-0. On ESPN, it's the Rangers and the Capitals at 7:30 tomorrow night. Game 3 with New York leading that series 2-0. Here, San Jose, halfway through the hockey game, has been credited with 4 shots on goal. And the Sharks trailed 2-0 after the goal by Gardner, his second of the playoffs, and Dylan Clark at 9:31, an even strength goal.
Well, that's great for Felix Potvin that he's only had 4 shots against him, but it's also not so great. He's used to a lot of work, and it's tough for a goaltender to stay in a game, especially this long, when you've only had 4 shots. So now the mental part of the game is more important than the physical part for Felix Potvin.
Vezzo stripped Ozolinsh and nearly broke in. Now Osborne flips it on net, blocked out in front. Might have hit Bill Berg in the back. Garpenwald sends it to an open wing. 4 shots on goal for San Jose. We're down to 9:20 left in the second period. Jamie McCowan out to center ice to Berg, and he slides it in. And the Leafs change lines. That line gets a hand as it goes off. Duchesne let it go because it would have been a 2-line pass. And instead, it's an icing call. Now let's send you back to Bill Pito.
All right, Sean, Vancouver and Dallas still in the first period. Watch 27 in white. That's Shane Sherlitt. Keep your eyes on 27 in white. Into your picture comes Pavel Bure. A bang, vicious elbow. No penalty called. Vancouver up 1-0. Still in the first. Sean, back to you.
The visiting team's doing some damage here in the conference semifinals. Boston won 2 in New Jersey. Vancouver won the first at Dallas. San Jose won the first game of this series on the road. Toronto leads tonight, trying to even up this series at 1 win apiece. 2-0 is the score. Krupa fell down as he went to handle the pass. Elliott right out in front. Couldn't get a shot on net and then hacked the stick right out of the hands of Krushelnyski. Pearson failed to clear it. Peterson and Baumgartner. And it's shot the length of the ice by Mike Krushelnyski, the 34-year-old veteran. And icing is the call against Toronto. With 8.5 minutes left in the second period, there's Ken Baumgartner, who was once traded by Los Angeles to Buffalo, and there was a guy named Brian Engblom in that trade.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, and he's been running around out there tonight. He stirred things up in game 1. And he's been doing it here in game 2. Look at this. He'll just miss Todd Ellick. He wants to separate him from his equipment. Ellick saw him coming just at the last second and slipped that one. Baumgartner took the worst of that one, but That's what Baumgartner does really well, and he knows his job. He goes out there, he tries to make contact whenever he can. And there was a couple of guys that were looking for Baumgartner the rest of that shift, even though he missed Todd Ellick on that attempted hit.
Baumgartner missed the last 20 games of the regular season with a broken wrist. Sat out the Chicago series with that injury. Then returned for game 1 of this series, but injured his shoulder. And was doubtful for tonight's game, according to local papers, but he's in there. But injuries don't playoff time in the NHL. So secretive. Whitney with a rare scoring chance. Turned aside by Potvin. Now the line Cronin did well to handle the bouncing puck. They did credit Whitney with a shot on goal. That's number 5 for San Jose. Down to 8:05 left, second period. 2-0 Toronto. Here's Doug Gilmour on the move. Now it's Dave Andreychuk. He had it blocked by Jamie Baker. Battle along the near boards, Whitney and Baker. And it was Borshevsky of Toronto who pried it loose, centering pass. Doug Gilmour tried to find Andreychuk, and Andreychuk will be going off. Frustrated that he couldn't accept the pass, he put a two-hander across the front of Ray Whitney. And a slashing call here against Dave Andreychuk. So the Sharks get a much-needed try on the power play, trailing 2-0 with 7:39 left in the second period.
Well, Toronto wants to punish San Jose, but they don't want to take penalties if they can help it. In doing so, Andreychuk was upset, and he took a pretty good two-handed chop at Whitney. That's why he'll be in the penalty box the next couple of minutes. So Toronto with a pretty commanding lead. 2-0 is not a big lead, but for them it seems to be. There's the chop by Andreychuk. That one he should have just let go and waited for a later time to get back at Whitney. Whitney hadn't exactly done him a grievous endangerment or any dangerous situation, but Andreychuk decided to take a whack at him, and Koharski saw that one very easily. Those are the kind of penalties that Burns won't be too happy about.
7:39 left second period, 2-0 Toronto. This is the first try on the power play in the second period for San Jose. They were 0 for 3 in the first. Main line out. Larionov taking the draw up front with Makarov and Garpenlov. Ozelich and Norton are the point men. Strange bounce out of the corner. And Ozelich raced to keep it in. Ozelich is 21 years old. He's a superstar in the NHL. Makarov double teamed and waiting for help. Managed to work it back to the point to Norton. Minute 40 left in the power play. Norton has it back from Ozelich. Pressured by Bird. Bird and Zezel. The Babe and McCowan killing the penalty. And a minute and a half remaining. Makarov tried to center it. McCowan blocked it. Makarov struggling. McCowan trying to reach over his back. Norton got a stick on it. Ozelich over to keep it in. Makarov into the circle. Went to Garpenlov. One-timer. High and wide off the stick of Makarov. And the follow-up wasn't very strong from Garpenlov. And Potvin, Felix McCann, able to glove it with ease.
Well, San Jose got their scoring chance because Zezo was kind of tackled on the play and held down on the ice, I believe, by Norton over by the far boards. So it became a 4-on-3 situation for a couple of seconds, and San Jose was able to take advantage. There you can see it right there. There's Zezo. He can't get up. He's yelling at the referee. There's Norton saying, I don't have him. Everything's okay here. And then there'll be a one-time shot from the slot area. Makarov's going to get it. You'll see the pass. He'll set up in the middle. There's the pass across, and he's going to get in position. There's the one-timer. In other words, you don't stop the puck. It's got to be a pass coming across to you, and just time it and hammer it right off the pass. There it is. Makarov, one of the best in the business at it. He got that one on target.
A minute 8 left on the power play for San Jose. Toronto is a 2-0 lead with 6:40 left in the second period. The puck was deflected out of the rink. The face-off back of the Toronto end. Doug Gilmour. When you factor in both ends of the rink, you could make the argument for him as the best player in the league. 7th last year in the league in scoring, 4th this year. Last year he won the Selke Trophy as the best defensive forward in the entire NHL, and he could well win that again this year.
It seems like almost every year he could win it. I don't think there's any doubt about it. He is so good in his own zone, but his stats are so impressive offensively. You don't know whether to say he's a great defensive player who has great hands or a good offensive player who knows his job defensively. Either way, it's a compliment to him. Doug Gilmour is an excellent two-way hockey player.
Nobody in the league more valuable to his team than Doug Gilmour is to the Leafs. He breaks with Osborne. Score! that much on it, but it trickled through Irbe. A short-handed goal, and Toronto has a 3-0 lead.
Mark Osborne must have Arturs Irbe number. He got an easy gift goal from Arturs Irbe in Game 1, and this is a pretty weak goal by Arturs Irbe, who doesn't give up very many like this. Here comes Osborne, not a great angle. He's in pretty deep. He just shovels it at the net. It catches Irbe by surprise. It seemed to go in under his arm. Irbe knew he had missed it, but couldn't catch up with it.
Short-handed goal at 13:29. Osborne is second of the playoffs and second of this series from Gilmore. Still 35 seconds left in the San Jose power play. It's not covered by Potvin with 6:13 remaining in the second period. The much-traveled Mark Osborne in his 13th NHL season. He's played for Detroit, the Rangers, Toronto, Winnipeg, and now back with Toronto.
Here's a good look at it. You'll see what Arturs Irbe saw, and you can see that one squeak through. It looked like it may have squeaked through the pads of Irbe after all. Doug Gilmore is the decoy on this play. He'll give the puck to Osborne and then strictly go for the net. So that's going to take the attention of the back checker here. He's not going to touch the puck, but he set it up. He'll get the assist. Mark Osborne, like I said, must have Arturs Irbe number. 2 goals in 2 games.
And the Sharks have played here tonight like they're content to go back to San Jose with a split of the first 2 games of the series. They've only managed 7 shots on goal. That's even with 4 tries on the power play tonight. And off the face-off, another problem with a high stick.
Todd Ellick will get a high stick right off the face-off, right up in the mouth area. It doesn't look like he's cut at all, but he went down right away. Oh, yes, he is. You can see now, right over the eye. Right off the face-off, the sticks will come up. Peter Zezel's against him. Ellick, as I said, in Game 1 was the only San Jose center who was at least 500 on the draws, and not a happy man, obviously.
And no penalty call.
Well, I think probably Koharski, the referee, felt it was right off the face-off, and it wasn't done intentionally, but usually when there's blood drawn here, let's take a look at it here. Jockeying for position. Oh, yeah. He came right up and flipped him. He was trying to do this spin-a-rama and pulls Ellick's stick up off the ice, and then uses speed as we've seen him do earlier, but there's no doubt about that one. No wonder Ellick's mad. That stick came right up and hit him.
That easily could have been 5 minutes. I don't understand. I mean, that's a cut open on the face that might require stitches.
Well, obviously, in Koharski's view, he felt that that was part of the face-off. As I said, he probably thought, well, it's an accidental high stick, but nonetheless, you're right. You would think he'd at least get 2 minutes in this situation. You'll see it real clear. The stick, boom, right there. He was trying to hook Ellick's stick and get it up off the ice and spin around, but oh, man, that was lucky that didn't hit him right in the eye.
A high stick is a high stick, intentional or otherwise. Don Koharski dropped the ball on that one. Ozelin out in front. McCowan got a stick on it as Makarov was eyeing a one-timer. Still 15 seconds left in the San Jose power play. And the Leafs will kill that time as Lefebvre tried to feed Berg and was broken up by Jeff Norton. 5:45 left in the second period. 3-0 Toronto. Out of the box comes Andreychuk, and the Leafs are back at full strength. Zezel happy to take an icing call.
Before you try one of those trendy colored car waxes, consider this. Colored waxes contain dyes that can stain your car's finish. Presenting Rain Dance Light Car and Dark Car Formula Polish. Rain Dance Light has optical brighteners for a cleaner, brighter shine. Rain Dance Dark removes haze and film for a deeper, wet look shine. So choose Rain Dance Light Car Formula or Dark Car Formula, because your car is too young to die.
Hey, there's that cool recliner.
Come on, ski jumping.
Oh, the recliner, come on.
Hey, how about both?
Miller Lite presents Recliner Ski Jump.
No way.
Boy, Johnson's ready. He's been training for this for years, Bob. Watch this layback. Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste with less filling, you can combine anything. He's got the record and the light. Let's share.
What a beer.
Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
The next 3 games in this series will be at the San Jose Arena, so regardless of the outcome tonight, San Jose could wrap up the series on home ice, or the Sharks to win all 3 in their building. Games 6 and 7, if necessary, would be back here at Maple Leaf Gardens, May 12th and 14th.
There's a shot of Kevin Constantine. He was IHL Coach of the Year 2 years ago in Kansas City, and he said, I had players who couldn't even make an expansion team. It was hockey's version of candidates for Attica, but they won the championship.
It was that success in Kansas City that
Come on, Eastwood.
Constantine wasn't very well known. The chance to become a head coach in the NHL at age 35. He's the second youngest coach in the league. Only Pierre McGuire and Hartford at age 32 is younger. Clark with a breakout. Wendell Clark, great stop by Irving. Wendell made a terrific move to free himself up for a wide open net, and out of nowhere it appeared came the right leg of Artur Zerbe.
This is an incredible save by Artur Zerbe. Wendell Clark had me beat, I'll tell you that. This is a great, great move by Clark. I thought he was going to go right, but he'll feint back left. But look at Zerbe's leg. How far? Look at that split. Look at that split. Unbelievable how he shot that right leg back. Let's get another look at it. He feints, he dropped the right shoulder like he's going that way. Whoops, pulls it back at high speed. Look at that. Unbelievable, outstanding save by Artur Zerbe. And Wendell Clark's got to be shaking his head after that one. Not too many goaltenders. They're all very limber, very flexible. They work on the splits all the time. There are not very many goaltenders in the NHL that could have stretched that far to make that save.
Zerbe only 5'8", but he's very strong. Lifts weights after every game. Does several sets of bench pressing at 195 pounds.
Wow, he had that leg out about as far as it can go. He might be a little taller by tomorrow, I think.
He's out to golf it around to the near boards, and we're under 5 minutes remaining in the second period. Toronto leads 3-0. They've scored twice here in the second period. Goals by Gardner and Osborne. Pearson went head first to the net. The puck wound up in the corner. Now Rouse at the point. And a kick save made by Irving. Kept in at the line. Irving, another save. Andrechuk poked it wide. And the shots pile up. Now 22-8 in favor of Toronto. Artur Zerbe keeping the Sharks in the game. Just the one weak goal allowed on the shorthand score by Osborne. And we may have a penalty here. Don Koharski gesturing frantically, and it's going to be against the Leafs because Pearson is up and screaming in the face of Don Koharski.
He's probably going to call him for contact on Irbe, the goaltender. Toronto all around Artur Zerbe, some good scoring chances. Andrechuk had the best one, but Pearson is the guy going to the penalty box, and it looks like it's an interference call. I think it's interference on the goaltender. Irbe was in his crease, he made the save, and Pearson didn't hold up on the play, so he's in the penalty box for interference on the goaltender. Here's Pearson down low. He's just driving to the net. I like when forwards do that, and especially in playoff hockey. You just want to challenge those defensemen to make the play. There's Artur Zerbe. Look at that smart play by Andrechuk. Andrechuk knocked it down with his hand, dropped it in front, and tried to stuff it in behind Irbe. Then there's Pearson in against Artur Zerbe, pushing and shoving. A little bit of a shot with the stick, and Artur's with a little retaliation as well. They're pushing and shoving against each other. And later on in that sequence, Pearson's going to come in and take another pretty good shot at Artur Zerbe, and it's Pearson who gets nailed for the penalty.
Here it is after the whistle. And I think Pearson's complaint was he got knocked down from behind by Krupa. Vancouver now leads Dallas 2-0 with 6 minutes left in the first period. Ronning and Bure, the goal scorers for the Canucks.
Dangerous lead for Vancouver. They won game 1, and then they will go home for 3 straight games with a chance to wrap things up.
The Canucks are down 3 games to 1 in the series with Calgary in the first round. And 3 overtime games in 5, 6, and 7. 2 of them on Calgary's home ice to advance to the second round meeting with the Stars. Taron into the corner. Under 4 minutes left, second period. 3-0 Toronto. Sharks desperately need a power play goal to ignite a very stagnant offense, which generated only 8 shots at this point in the hockey game.
Toronto doing just a magnificent job throughout most of this game of keeping the San Jose shooters to the outside. They will not let them in anywhere close to Felix Potvin.
Berg fell on top of the puck, and Koharski indicates that the face-off will be outside the zone, since only Berg was responsible for the stoppage in play. 1:19 left on the penalty to Pearson, and 3:34 left in the second period. 3-0 Leafs.
Felix Potvin hasn't been a very busy guy, as we mentioned, and he could probably use kind of a night off, if you want to call it this. Toronto with a pretty comfortable 3-0 lead. He's dropping weight pretty dramatically. He's usually about 180 pounds. He is down to almost 160 pounds right now. He got the day off from practice yesterday. Pat Burns was a little concerned. They wanted to get some good food into him and fluids and get some rest. There you can take a look at the shots on goal. San Jose is just not getting to the net. Only 8 shots on goal.
And Coach Burns particularly concerned because in the month of May generally it gets very warm in this ancient building, Maple Leaf Gardens, without the modern air conditioning. And Potvin lose as much as 8 or 9 pounds during a game, more likely to do that in the heat of May. Minute 7 remaining on the San Jose power play. And time running out of the second period. Elegant drive blocked down by Potvin. Right back to Ellick. He centered one. Peterson fanned on it. Dahlin. And now Ellick at the side of the net. Denied by Potvin. Played around the boards, but not out. Goodrow, a forward who plays on the power play. Plays very little, 5-on-5. Kept it in. And nothing he could do about that one as Osborne swept at the length of the ice. 35 seconds left on the minor to Rob Pearson. 2:45 left second period. 3-0 Leafs. Mironov in the first period. Gardner and Osborne, the goal scorers here in the second period for Toronto.
The Leaf fans are pumping it up here in the second period. They're real happy with the way the Leafs are playing right now with this 3-0 lead.
Bob Berry, former Penguin, played on 2 cup winners. Now Goodrow didn't get much on the shot. And it was a relatively easy save for Potvin. And some pushing and shoving after the whistle.
It appears to be working for Toronto. You can see the San Jose players retaliating. In the games against Detroit, when they retaliated and they took penalties, they lost those games. Toronto seems to be succeeding in drawing them in. They've got a lead. They're continuing to play rough. There's a lot of punches to the head, a lot of extracurricular stuff. And if you're a San Jose player, you're only going to take so much of it. But Felix Potvin has been forced to make a couple of saves now, a couple of brief flurries by the San Jose Sharks. The best scoring chances they've probably had in this entire game. They get it down low and get some quick rebound chances. Potvin getting down low very quickly. You see laying the shaft of the stick on the ice. That's modern goaltending, if you want to call it that. In the old days, that was a no-no. He was supposed to stand up on the play. There was a great chance missed on a fan shot, but then quick chances down low, first by Dahlin and then Todd Ellick. But Potvin gets down in that butterfly very quickly. He lays the shaft of the stick down across, and that's the way most of the goaltenders do it now. There's so much crease passing and that sort of thing that the goaltenders have to get down early in order to make those saves.
You saw Jamie Baker. He received the only penalty as he was jousting with McCowan. Baker off for roughing at 17:34, so they'll play 4-on-4 for 11 seconds. Then Pearson's out of the box. And Toronto will have a power play for a minute 49. 2:25 remaining in the second period. The Leafs have a 3-0 lead as they try to even the series at 1 win apiece. Gardner to the line to Eastwood. He turned it over to Sean Cronin. And he handed it back to Gardner. Now Pearson shot it wide. Power play Toronto as Pearson's out of the box. And Irbe covers it. Coming up in our second intermission, we'll have another Sports Smash with Bill Pino. He'll tell you what's happening in the other NHL playoff game tonight in Dallas.
Well, Rob Pearson continues to stir things up for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they had a pretty good flurry of action themselves down in San Jose's zone. They got a chance on Artur Zerbe, but came away empty. Pearson had an interesting comment for me this morning. I thought, he said early in game one when they had good body contact, it's because when Baumgartner was on their line, all three forwards were making contact. He says against San Jose, the way they play inside their own zone, they line up across their own blue line, then they move the puck fairly quickly and crisply inside their blue line. Therefore, if you only have one or two guys of the Leafs making body contact, they will still get out of their zone. All three forwards must make contact, and he's right. The X's and O's of it are right there.
Face-off won by Toronto. Let the play back to the point. Split Ellett and Mironov. Toronto's first goal came on a 4-on-3 power play. Minute 50 left in the second period. A minute 22 left in the power play for the Leafs. Pass went right through Gilmore into Irbe. Clark knocked it down. Deflected toward the net, but Peterson skated out. Now Peterson has it back from Larionov. Maple Leafs went to sleep a bit there. Peterson had a chance, but it was deflected wide. 22-13, the shots on goal. San Jose has the last 5 shots that have been credited. Clark, with under a minute left on the power play, 53 seconds, as Clark holds in the corner. And his double team. Gilmore couldn't keep it in, but Mironov did. And whistle sounds, and apparently the play was offside. Late whistle for the offside call against the Maple Leafs. Well, on Friday night, again, you have your pick. If you want to watch ESPN2, it's Dallas and Vancouver. Game 3 of that series, 10:30 Eastern time. Two of the best scorers in the league, and Mike McDonough and Pavel Bure going head-to-head. Or you can watch Game 3 of this series. The first game in the series we played in San Jose. That's on ESPN Friday night at 10:30. That's where you need picture-in-a-picture. If you're a hockey fan, you can watch both at the same time.
Good idea. Yeah, that's great. You get a good look at 2 games simultaneously if you have one of those TVs. There's Mike Gartner with one of the goals in this hockey game. He got traded at the trade deadline again, the 3rd time in the last 6 years that he's been traded at or near the trade deadline. 15 years in the NHL and 15 straight 30-plus goal seasons.
Borshevsky shot it over the net. 35 seconds left in the Toronto power play. We're under a minute remaining in the period. Andrechuk. McCowan blocked by Irbe. Sean Cronin is without a stick for San Jose, and he still doesn't have it. Andrechuk behind the net. Centering pass deflects to Goodrow, and he played it down. That was good for Cronin, a chance to get off the ice. McCowan for Borshevsky, and it's called one offside play with 32 seconds left in the period and 7 seconds on the penalty to Jamie Baker. Sports Smash with Bill Pito, 32 seconds away. Brian will have his analysis of the second period, a period controlled by Toronto, as was the case in the first period.
And Toronto very nearly stung San Jose in the late stages here of this second period for a quick goal. San Jose in the second period, of course, a long ways from their bench. They had some tired players out there. They were caught on a bad line change. Toronto moved the puck out very quickly. McCowan from his own blue line up to the San Jose blue line. And Andrechuk was just a hair offside. Otherwise, he would have been in all alone.
Whitney controls the faceoff. Now it's Gill for Pearson. Akers out of the box. The Sharks back at full strength with 22 seconds left in the period. Norton has it back from Ozelin. Whitney quickly for Baker. Rink wide. Falloon with some skating room. Ozelin runs interference. Great stop by Potvin. His best of the night on the quick shot by Whitney. And Pearson drives it down in the waning seconds of the second period. And San Jose had a chance to cut it to 2 at the second intermission, but Potvin held his ground. And he's pitching a shutout on 14 saves through 2 periods. Only scoring in period 2 by Mike Gartner, an even strength goal. Mark Osborne, a shorthanded goal for Toronto. And after 2 at Maple Leaf Gardens, it is the Maple Leafs 3 and the San Jose Sharks nothing. Stay tuned for Bill Pito and a Sports Smash right after this.
Hey, I've been attacked by sharks. And struck by lightning. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I give it. Come on. In this league, the fans are as tough as the players.
Chelios, you're a bum!
Win! Get real.
Logo Athletic, licensed team apparel.
I never park up front of the parking lot. That's how door dings happen. The towels bug my wife. She calls me a tightwad, but I'm not a tightwad. I just don't want to scratch the upholstery. No, if people took care of their cars, they wouldn't have to keep buying new ones.
Pure oil now.
I change my own oil and use Purolator filters.
Pure oil later.
Have to watch the dog up there. Tell
Legends live on Purolator.
Oh, look, a nickel.
We have just one word for the new Whopper Jr. at Burger King. Bigger. You already know it's flame broiled and fixed your way. But the one thing you didn't know is that the Whopper Jr. now has 50% more beef. And cause we figured one great improvement deserved another, the new Whopper Jr. is just 99 cents every day. The new 99-cent Whopper Jr. at Burger King. We may not be the world's #1 fast food place.
Welcome to Burger King.
It just tastes that way.
The new Volkswagen Golf features a track-correcting rear axle and an improved turning radius of just 32.5 feet, all of which makes the tight-handling Golf the perfect car for the city.
Hi there. After 2 periods, Toronto leads San Jose 3-zip. Bill Pito here with the smash. The other hockey game tonight, Vancouver and Dallas in Game 2. The Cardiac Canucks with 3 straight wins over Calgary in overtime to get to the second round and leading the Stars 1-0. First period of the contest, watch Cliff Ronning come in, and the move on Doug Smoldick, who's completely faked out of his skates. 1-0 Canucks. 27 in white, Shane Shirley, you saw the bang. Pavel Bure, watch again. Quite a hit, no penalty call in that play. A smash, though, on the smash. Bure then, the offense cleans up a rebound past Andy Moog, who's getting the start in Game 2 in place of Darcy Wakaluk. And right now, after 1, it's Vancouver leading 2-0. United States and Russia, World Hockey Championship action. Guy Hebert, 53 saves for the United States. One right there. Craig Jenney then right place, right time. A shot and a goal. It's 1-0 U.S. Second period, Scott Young. He's going to shoot, and he's going to score. And then it's Young again, as the United States goes on to win 3-1 to advance to the semifinals. First win over the Soviet Union for the U.S. since the Do You Believe in Miracles effort some 14 years ago, the 1980 Olympics. NBA playoffs, New Jersey trailing the next 2-0 coming in, but the Nets up by 10 right now in the third quarter. Phoenix Golden State, 10:30 Eastern start, Suns up 2-0 in that one. The recycle bin for NBA coaches is dipped into again. Jim Lynam is the new coach of Washington, replacing Wes Unseld, who resigned. Lynam was the GM in Philadelphia. He coached the Sixers from 1988 to 1992 before moving upstairs. He led the Sixers to the playoffs 3 times.
I'm extremely happy to be here. Probably the second happiest person is my mom, who called me late last night and asked me, what's the deal? She's been getting deluged by calls from the Washington media about the coaching candidate, Jim Lynam. Now, my dad, he now thinks he was a candidate for this job. He's 77 years old, and he probably wouldn't have survived the month of November. So all you astute guys that have been calling my dad's house instead of mine, I apologize on behalf of the Lynam family.
All right, now we got to tell you about the Tour de Pont. It's a 1,050-mile race, a prologue time trial today. Raul Alcala, #1. He's from Mexico. Greg LeMond came in 5th. The race heads into Maryland on Friday. So that's part of the smash. After 2 periods, Toronto leads San Jose 3-zip. We're back with a baseball story after this.
Have you ever wondered what happens when your engine gets old? Well, let's take a look. After a car has been on the road for 40,000 miles or more, the normal wear and tear to the cylinders can reduce engine power and increase oil burning. So what can you do to put some life back into your engine? Add Engine Restore and Lubricant. Engine Restore's patented formula bonds to the walls of the cylinder, repairing scratches and worn-out areas. Compression and power are restored. Put new life into your engine with the power of Engine Restore.
Are you still drinking the old thing? Try the next thing, Powerade. With 33% more carbos than Gatorade and a taste you can really slam. Powerade, the next thing.
Welcome back, everybody. The Chicago Cubs haven't dropped 12 straight home games in 92 years. The National League record is 14 straight losses at home, set by the Atlanta Braves back in 1911. Chicago at home against Cincinnati. Hey, man, bring out the GOAT. Not allowed into the 1945 World Series, and a lot of Cubs fans think it hasn't been the same since, but the GOAT was there. Sammy Sosa way back in left. That's gone, a home run. And we got a battle for the ball. Who's going to get the ball? Well, someone got the ball. And the guy said, well, today's the day. He was right. Chicago finally wins at home. The final over the Reds 5-2. Montreal beats L.A. 5-4. The Expos have won 12 out of 14. Giants and the Mets. Businessman special at Shea. And that guy has non-special seats. 7th inning, Mets down 1. Bobby Bonilla. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Smash Cam was off its game today, but we see the homer there. Bonilla had 2 homers. One is a lefty, one is a righty. That guy said, hey, Bobby had a great day. 7-4 the final. The 5th time for Bonilla in his career that he's hit a homer from both sides of the plate in one game. Dante Bichette from Colorado, his 11th homer. Rockies lead the Cards right now in the 5th inning. For Houston, tied now with Pittsburgh. Scott Service has 2 RBIs. San Diego at Philadelphia, that game was washed away. Florida and Atlanta scoreless right now in the 7th inning. Rangers, Tigers, 2nd inning. Tigers down 2-zip. It'll change. Lou Whitaker, oh, he got all of it. He got all of it. It's a 3-run shot off the facade. And there's more where that came from. 2 batters later, Cecil Fielder. Oh, a mammoth, yes, please. 475 feet up on the roof. Been singing that all day, killing everybody, but it is up on the roof. Career homer number 200 for Fielder as Detroit beats Texas 14-7. Whitaker, by the way, in addition to the 3-run home run, had a grand slam. Whitaker driving in 7 runs. Twins and the Brewers. Jesse Orozco in the 6th. The Brewers up 5-3. Bases loaded. Matt Wahlbeck. And that one's way back and left. And that one is a grand slam. Barely. Wahlbeck only the 2nd home run in his career as the Twins go on to win. Final score was 8-7. Elsewhere, Boston at home against Seattle. Homers for Mike Greenwell and Mo Vaughn in that one. Joe Carter for Toronto, his 33rd RBI. That leads the majors. Chicago and Cleveland, 2-0 White Sox. Coming up, the Yankees at California, and Baltimore at Oakland. Sports Night! Right here, 5 nights a week, 3 times a day. That's a smash after 2 periods in the hockey game. Toronto leads San Jose 3-0. Sean McDonough and Brian Engblom back at you after this.